everybody. Welcome to another episode of Wellness Blueprints. I'm Jess Milner. I'm so glad you're here to nourish your roots with me. And today is actually my youngest son. My baby's baby is 8 years old today. And so we are, of course, having birthday parties all day long. It's celebrate him the whole day. But I wanted to talk a little bit about birthdays. And I know I've mentioned this a little bit before. My birthday was 10 days ago. My husband's was 6 days before that. So it's a little bit of a birthday season in our house right now. But your birthday, it's been mentioned before that your birthday is like your own personal New Year's. And that's not because like we're expected to like change anything, but something already did when you get back to this spot of your birthday, okay? So I wanted to share some ways that we can make our birthday our own New Year's. But first, the moment that you were born, the moment that we're born, it matters. We have this journey coming through space and time. We're coming into biology, and it's like that last bit of cosmic fingerprints coming across as we are coming into this life here. That last fingerprint as we are born, and then every year we pass that same time again. We pass that same point every year. Okay. So that's what I mean. We don't need to change anything because something already did. We've already passed our spot at same point again. And this is a significant point. Okay. It's a significant time for us. So 10 ways that your birthday can be your own New Year. And I want you to save this video, save this podcast, just, for when it is your birthday. So you can listen to this when it's actually around your birthday, because your birthday may not be around the same time as ours. There are birthdays every single day of the year. And please save it and share it with your friends who are having birthdays, because this is a great way it's a great way to frame your birthday. Okay. So, number one, just kind of take stock in what's been going on, without any judgment, but kind of look back over the last year. Like, what shifted? Did something soften? Did something kind of like fall away? Something's just like no longer important, and just kind of like take a look at that. Don't judge it or anything. Just be like, oh, all right. Yeah. So there we go. Two, you can let this be more of like a pause, not a push. Like I said, we don't need to be like setting goals and stuff like that. Okay. This is a checkpoint. It's like, you're going around. It's like that another lap, bing. So it's not a time to set goals necessarily, but you can pause and be like, hey, yeah, I just made it another round. Right. Okay. So, number three, let's say, what feels aligned right now? Like, ask yourself, what feels aligned right now? Now, I'm not saying like, okay, what should happen this year? I should do this and da, 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 da. No, because that's goals. Of course, if you want to set goals for yourself, I'm not telling you not to set goals. But as far as this goes, I don't want you to think about like what should happen. Like, I know like today it's like, okay, well, I should do this and I should do this and I should do this. But I want you to kind of look at it because what feels true right now? That's a bigger question to ask. What feels true today? And that will help you to realize, what is actually feeling aligned now. Number four, go ahead and gently release something. Maybe it's an old habit, an old belief, an old pressure, but there's something that you've outgrown. And every year when you get to that day, you're making that, you hit that checkpoint, you can look back and be like, you know what? I don't care about that anymore. Or that is going, that is kind of fallen by the wayside. And, I've outgrown that. I've outgrown that way of thinking. I have, evolved in this or that. So, take a look at that and just go ahead and gently release something that you go, you know what, that has not been serving. I don't need that. I can just kind of let it go. Right. Always fun to let stuff go. Be like Elsa. All right. So number five, honor your body's current season. Okay. So, I'm like I said, this isn't like a time to set new goals necessarily, but I mean, if you are in some kind of a weight loss or a health journey, or you are, you're waiting to get this done or that done, you're not the same as you were last year. Okay. Your body knows that. You're definitely not the same now as you were last year on your last birthday. So just look at that and acknowledge that and honor the current season that your body's in, even if you want to continue to improve it. You have like this, like, my shoulder keeps going insane and hating me, and it doesn't hate me, but it's giving me signals. So, I can acknowledge that this year on my birthday, I was like, well, last year my shoulder wasn't doing this, so honor the body in the current season that it's in, because you have to start there. It's just kind of like the same sort of thing. Or like, you can't you can't start to fix an issue until you acknowledge that there is one. So you have to be grateful for where you're at and be like, okay, this is where I am. I accept that, and that's good. And then, you move from there. Okay, number 6 is going to talk about celebrating. All right, so listen, if you want to celebrate, do it. It does not matter how. You celebrate how you want to. Joy does not have to be loud. You don't have to have a big, huge party. You don't got to invite all these people, spend all this money. You don't have to have a bunch of people over to your house. You don't have to make somebody else host you. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. You don't have to, like, whatever you want to do, you don't have to post it all over social media. It's not like, oh, if it's not on Instagram, it didn't happen. Baloney. Of course it happens. It happened right there. And you felt the joy in your heart and you had fun. It doesn't have to be loud. However you want to celebrate is the perfect way to celebrate. So go ahead and celebrate you how you want to. All right, number 7, set an intention. Okay, now, like I said, this is not about setting goals. So set an intention for what you want to experience throughout the year, not achieve, but experience, because that's a completely different question. Okay. What do you want to experience? And then, the goals that you achieve are going to help you with those experiences, of course, but set the intention for what you want to experience for the year. Number 8, reflect on what you have survived, and be honest about it. Because when you get to the end of a year, you can kind of look back, and I guarantee you there were some very difficult times. There were probably some darker times. Some years are going to be better than others. Some years you can just look, and if you're looking back and going, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for everything. Awesome. I love that. You should be grateful for everything. You should be grateful for the stuff you have, and even be grateful for the things that suck, because they do teach us lessons and all this, that kind of thing. But be honest with yourself. Allow yourself to be like, look, I'm super grateful for all of these things that have happened to me this year that are so wonderful. But I can absolutely acknowledge that I survived a whole lot of bullshit too. Okay. So you can sit there and just be like, all right, honestly, I survived this, this, and this, because it's going to give you the confidence to be able to know that you can continue on. All right. Sometimes we have to kind of look and be like, you know what, all of this stuff is going on, but look at this. We don't always give ourselves all of the credit that we should, right? So reflect on what you have survived, because you have survived some things. It's been the 365 days since last time you had a birthday. And yeah, you survived something. Okay. Number 9, do a nourishing thing. Do a nourishing thing. So is that going to be a nourishing meal? Is that going to be extra rest or sunlight? However it is you're going to nourish your nervous system, your body, your spirit. You want to nourish all of it, okay? Ground yourself and figure out the way that that's going to be best for you for that. Do more than one if you want to. Honestly, I would do plenty, It's like every day I need to get grounded. Not too difficult to do out here. I'm looking out the window, beautiful mountain. I mean, pretty simple. But everybody has an outside. Okay. Number 10, so simple. Let yourself begin again. Let yourself begin again. And again, this is not like, okay, we're starting over with our goals kind of thing. No, this is like you just did a lap. Bing, you're beginning again. So you're going through this time again. It's like a track that you're on to like get through these months and everything. You're beginning again from wherever it is that you start right there. So you have this significant checkpoint. And it's such a beautiful thing that you can look at it and go, wow, I've got this significant checkpoint. This has a lot to do with a lot of the things about me. This day has a lot to do with a lot of the things about me. It has helped to shape me in so many different ways. All of these things around me throughout my lifetime have helped to shape me in these different ways. And now I can look and say, okay, well, what has shifted? I can look at this and I can see what feels aligned right now, and honor where I am and be ready to move forward with intention, but not with like active, crazy, go get 'em force. See the difference there? So we're allowing ourselves to flow and go and do the things without being like, go, go, go. Because sometimes we need that kind of energy, but not with this. Okay. So I hope that you're saving this episode. I hope that you're going to be able to come back and listen to it on your own birthday. Please send it to your birthday friends. I'm so glad that you popped in today. I just want to leave you guys with this wonderful message that, your birthday It doesn't demand transformation. It marks it. So every year that you get to your birthday, every time that you get a year older, you're marking a transformation. One more lap, bing, you have done it. And the transformation is just going to happen. So go ahead and let yourself begin again and just embrace this wonderful, wonderful time and celebrate. I'm celebrating you, all the joy. All right. Happiest of birthday to anybody out there celebrating. Love you guys. See you next time.